guys. You see, this is what I don't like. Yeah, we've got Islam Makhachev who's moved up in weight class and he's trying to dictate. Obviously, I know he's the champion, but he's trying to dictate who he fights next. And I don't really think he can do that. Like, that's what I really didn't want to happen when he moved up. I didn't want the welterweight division to be put on hold. Why? Please, guys, can someone tell me why he is calling for Kamaru Usman? Why does Islam want to fight Kamaru Usman? I know why. Because it's a fucking easy fight. That's why. Or an easier fight. Listen, we all know Kamaru is at practically the end of his career. He's got no knees. I think he even recently had surgery. So why like listen, if this was Kamaru in his prime, different story. Like maybe 5-6 years ago, I would have been like, okay, yeah, that would have been an interesting matchup because even Khabib and Kamaru in their prime, I would have paid to watch that. I'm not gonna lie, I would have liked to have seen that. But let's actually read out what the fuck is that? Let's actually read out let's read out what Islam actually had to say. So here's the post, guys. Let's get into this shenanigans from Islam Makhachev. Usman would steamroll through each of these up and comers. Morales, Pratas, those guys haven't been checked yet. Usman would be the hardest fight for me. You see, this is why styles make fights, because you never know. You actually never know what could happen in a fight. So for him to sit there and say, "Oh, Usman would steamroll these guys," I'm not gonna lie. I think both of them have a big chance of sleeping Kamaru. I'm not gonna lie to you. We saw Kamaru against Jaquan Buckley, and he didn't want to stand up and trade with him. He was trying to keep it on the ground because, listen, that welterweight division, there's guys that can finish fights like that. So I'm sorry, Islam Makhachev. This here, number one bullshit, brother. Brother, come on, man. We know why you want this fight, because it's we can wrestle. Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle. I kill everybody. That's why you want that fight, because you can fight Kamaru in your field. And I would argue, not even argue, anyone that doesn't agree with this, it's just, yeah. Islam Makhachev is a way better striker than Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman striking is poor as fuck. Terrible. So Islam, in my opinion, would win that fight quite comfortably. At the point Usman is at in his career, I think Usman loses to Islam Makhachev, and if that's the case, if he thinks none of these guys have been tested, why wouldn't the UFC just listen? Kamaru is ranked what? Let me actually check where Kamaru is ranked. I believe he's number 6 or something like that. Kamaru Usman is number 8, and Islam Makhachev is calling for the number 8 contender to fight. Nah, bro. Like, you see this lightweight and welterweight division, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Islam and Ilya moving up a weight class has actually fucked up the division for the other fighters. Because now, obviously, with the lightweight division, we've got Paddy Pimblett, who's ranked number 5, who literally got bumped up one spot because Islam left the fucking division, is now getting an interim title shot against Justin Gaethje when there is a number 1 contender. And then we've got Islam Makhachev in the welterweight division, who is now the welterweight champ. Obviously, Jack Della Maddalena is the number 1 contender, but really and truly it's actually Ian Gary, because Ian Gary beat Belal. So obviously at the time Ian Gary fought Belal, Jack had already lost the belt, so he moves down one spot. But if we're actually being honest, Ian Gary is the number one contender. So, bruv, I don't want to see all this fucking bullshit. The UFC seems to just be turning into the WWE. They're just trying to make the most interesting big fights and whatnot, which is okay. I get it, but then you may as well get rid of the rankings at this point because, bruv, even so, how the fuck is Shavkat Rakhmonov still ranked at number 3 and he hasn't fought in like a year? Can someone please explain these things to me? I genuinely don't get it. I don't get it. Like, honestly, I don't get that. Bilal Muhammad has moved down. Okay, he fought Ian Gary, and Ian Gary was ranked number 5, I think, or number 4. So it makes sense. But surely someone should have taken that number 3 spot from Shavkat. It genuinely doesn't make sense. The UFC is just falling off, man. Like, I love the UFC, but I'm starting to lose a bit of interest in them because I'm not going to... Listen, I'm from the UK and I have to stay up to watch these fights. I'm not going to continue to deprive myself of sleep for fights that I don't even care to see. I want to see the best fight the best. If there is a number 1 contender, I want to see him challenge or contend for the belt. It makes no sense otherwise. So I'm sorry. I don't want to fucking see Islam Makhachev versus Kamaru Usman. That is not the fight to make at welterweight. I mean, for Islam's resume, I get it. To have a former champion like Kamaru Usman on your resume is quite good. But hey ho, I don't fucking want to see that. And none of the fans want to fucking see that. We want to see Islam. Listen, he's moved up a weight class. I genuinely think in that lightweight division, there was no one that could really challenge him apart from Arman Sarukian and maybe Ilia Topuria. So him moving up was actually the right thing to do. I wish he'd done it sooner. Because the lightweight division, yeah, there was no point in him being... Genuinely, there was actually no point in him being there. There was nothing there for him. There was no challenges. But now you're at welterweight where you can be challenged. And, you know, to be honest, Khabib said it. He said, I think he either wants or he believes Islam is going to have maybe 2 or 3 more fights and that's it. Okay, I'm sorry, we're not letting you get Kamaru Usman, bro. We want to see you tested. You've moved up to welterweight and we want to see you tested, brother. Yeah, because you didn't really get tested at lightweight. You fought a featherweight twice. Yeah, you fought... let me actually look at Islam Makhachev's thing quick. So yeah, obviously he fought Moicano, which is not really his fault, but come on, Moicano, easy money, come on. Poirier, that was a good fight, I'll give him that. But Volkanovski, come on, man. And listen, respectfully, Charles Oliveira, like, listen, Bobby Green, Dan Hook, like, come on, man. Come on, man. He didn't really get challenged at lightweight. The only challenge he really had was probably Poirier and Oliveira, but he made Charles Oliveira look easy, very easy, and that's because Oliveira likes to play in guard, and he really thought Makhachev, who's wrestled in the mountains, was not going to come into his guard. He really thought that. Obviously, Ilia didn't because Ilia is not on the same level as Makhachev, and obviously he saw the threat. So, you know, Volkanovski gave him one of his most competitive fights, but still, it's a smaller man, and yeah, I can't really, for a title defense, I can't really, I hear it though. I hear it. That's what the UFC wanted, so I hear it. But listen, he's moved up to welterweight. We need to see Islam Makhachev get tested. He needs to fight the best. I want to see. Listen, I think he beats Ian Gary, but he needs to fight Ian Gary. Then he needs to fight maybe Michael Morales or Carlos Pratas. Shavkat Rakhmonov doesn't deserve the title shot in my opinion because he's been out due to injury, which is not his fault, but it's how the game goes, bro. I'm sorry. So yeah, man, we'll see how it plays out, but let me know your thoughts in the comments because I don't think it should be Kamaru getting the title shot over all those contenders because they've been way more active than Kamaru Usman, and boy, they've been... Listen, these guys are not like Kamaru Usman who gets decision wins. These guys get finishes, so you know, in my opinion, they deserve the title shot more than him. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe as usual, guys.